Chicago Bulls Media Day is right around the corner, literally about 48 hours away. And DeMar DeRozan, before Media Day, gave a little bit of an insight on the Chicago Bulls, talked about the coaches, talking about what we need to do to go ahead and sustain a winning culture within the Chicago Bulls. Y'all know we going to talk about it, but you know you got to hear the music first.
Cognac. Gang.
Shy Bulls Podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm with my dog, CDubb. How you doing, boy?
I'm feeling great. We got words from Demar. What's the word?
Facts. If y'all like what y'all listening to today, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and shake that notification bell so every time we drop, you be one of the first ones to know. Now, DeMar DeRozan, a couple nights ago, he had an interview over there with a guy from Sports Keto. And he had some things to say about the Chicago Bulls right before heading into training camp. We know Media Day is happening on Monday. We know training camp begins Tuesday in Nashville, Tennessee for the Chicago Bulls. DeMar DeRozan came in with his comments, talked about it. He said, hey, we made a lot of mistakes. And it's not only on the players, but the coaching staff as well, to be able to correct the mistakes that we have, because we weren't far off at all with the mistakes that we've made. CDubb, hearing those comments about DeMar DeRozan, including the coaching staff in those within his take, and how they wasn't that far off, but the coaches need to correct the mistakes. What's that saying to you?
I really enjoy hearing. I don't want to disrespect Vooch. I know he tried to make a leadership quote early, a little couple months back. But I really appreciate this from DeMar DeRozan, especially he didn't throw his coaches under the bus. He's saying we all got to be better, not just the players. We all got to be better. And I'm glad he included the coaches, because he is absolutely right. The Bulls lost like 15 to 19 games where they basically imploded mentally at the end of the game. And whether it be, I'll just throw a name, it ain't just down to this, like Zach doing a little IQ play, shooting a horrible shot at the wrong time or the inopportune time, or it's the coaches with vanilla game plans and vanilla strategy at the end of the game. We basically know what's going to be the play on the last shot of the game. So I really appreciate DeMar DeRozan for stepping up and putting the coaches on notice, like, well, you got to respect him, because he's been doing this for 3 years, and it's basically been the same thing for the 3 years. So I really appreciate that from Debo. Cornrow Kobe.
Facts. I appreciate the comments as well. And I'm happy that he's trying to hold everybody accountable. But I think one of the things that stand out a lot is that he included the coaches in that. And he probably didn't get as specific as most people thought he would get, but you can't, you got to go with it, man. These coaches, they are here to help correct and develop, you know what I'm saying, young players, or even the players that are veterans on their team. Sometimes while you playing the game, coaches will see things that those players are not seeing during the game. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with him. It's the coach's job to help make those corrections, whether that's in who's starting in the lineup or who's being placed within the lineup at specific moments of the game, who should remain in the game, you know, while the Bulls got some momentum, or you know what I'm saying, when they're down, if they're gaining traction, just so they can get that thing rolling and get back in the game. The coaches got to identify that. And sometimes last season we really didn't see that from the Chicago Bulls. You know what I'm saying? You will see moments to where Andre Drummond come out in the first half, strong first half, and then Billy Donovan, he goes with DJJ in the second half, and you never see Andre Drummond again. Absolutely. Or you got games to where Patrick Williams has a hot start. Billy Donovan, instead of letting that young 21-year-old at the Billy Donovan system, or in a couple of the games to where Kobe White is performing down the stretch within that fourth quarter, you know, them first few minutes that he's typically in the fourth quarter, you see Billy Donovan, you know what I'm saying, see a Kobe White out there, playing, putting on a solid performance, and Billy Donovan elects to sit him down instead of letting him run until the fire burn out. So that's some of the things to where I feel like that needs to be some type of correction in.
Yeah, that's a great point, nephew. And that's one of the greatest things holding the Bulls back is the coaches catching the vibe of the game. Like you said, if Patrick Williams just having an unbelievable first half, dropping 18 in the first half, then he come back in the second half and only play like 6 to 10 minutes. That's just, you don't know the flow of the game, and you the head coach. How can we possibly begin to win a basketball game? So and it's other points and stuff like that too. I'm sure though, we sit there and watch the games, nephew, and we see these things like why? We not getting paid for it. I know the players are sitting on the bench or on the court like why? Patrick Williams just hit like 3 threes. Why is he coming out the game? Ayo Dusumu just got like 3 steals in a row. Why he getting out the game? I mean, what like, is that really a problem for the coaches? You agree with me? They don't get the flow of the game or the vibe of the game from game to game.
I would say in most games that Billy Donovan, yes. And then on some like I know there was a few times we came out and flat out said, "Hey, Billy Donovan was out coached tonight." And there will be some nights that you will be out coached by the opposing coach that's on the other side calling the game for his team. But at the end of the day, you got to minimize that. That's what separates the good coaches from the greats. The greats
Yeah,
know how to adjust on the fly and be like, hey, what we had planned originally, that we scratching that is getting killed. You know what I'm saying? So we're
yeah,
gonna go ahead and we're gonna make an adjustment, and we're gonna see how they adjust to us instead of us, on our heels and adjusting to them constantly. We gotta apply some pressure, is
yeah.
what I
I
like to call it.
I just think he need Billy. He's okay, coach. Let's be real. He's okay. He's okay. I ain't saying he a
Yeah,
world
I would say
beater.
he a good coach.
I ain't
He's
say
just
he
not one of the
trash.
greats.
Yeah.
And it ain't
Uh,
many of those. So you gotta take it.
yeah. Pride, ego, and stubbornness is something that he got to work on. Like, don't be stubborn. Don't stick to the plan. You can't stick it to the plan in this league. It's too many plan breakers in this league. What happens if Ja Morant come out and score 30? Your plan is done. Forget your plan. What if Patrick, even if it happens to one of our players, Patrick Williams score 20 points in the first quarter, forget the plan. It's all about Patrick Williams right now. You ride the horse all the way till the horse is tired or he can't go anymore. Like, you have to be dynamic in your coaching. I think that's the one thing that holds him back. He like to stick to that plan, bro. Stop being stubborn.
For real, and I'm with you on that. And I really appreciate the leadership from DeMar DeRozan. This the type of
Absolutely.
leadership you want to hear, holding everybody accountable. And I do want to say I believe he's good to receiving some pushback from his players. I just want to say that, hey, let's continue that, because if we want to get this thing corrected, everybody got to be on the same page. We just went over it a few days ago that these guys didn't even feel like they were a team,
Yeah.
and they played 82 games together. Or at least, you know what I'm saying, or close to it. Whether they was in the game or not, most players sat there for 82 games. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
I want to ask you a question too.
that's what was a bit, shocking for me. But they got to get it together. What you got?
I don't want to cause drama. I don't want to cause drama. And I don't even think it's drama if it's true. Now, first of all, AK and Eversley had this meeting and they kind of put that out there that we wasn't really a team into the play in. Do you think this is okay? Y'all want to talk like that? Coaches get y'all shit together too. You know what I'm saying? It's like a retort towards their comments. Do you see that? And I don't think there's any problem with that. Okay, if y'all gonna put us out there, we gonna put y'all out there too.
I mean, it could be because you're a team. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? If the coaches in the front office got the right to point, I'm not saying they doing it, but if they are pointing the fingers at the players got the right to say, hey, well, look at the personnel that you brought in. Hey, that's the front office. Coaches, what about when we was up, let's say 5 points? And you know what I'm saying? We had the lead in the last few minutes of that play-in game against Miami.
yeah.
We seen some things. Why didn't we adjust faster? Why did we just go with the
Andre Drummond.
closing game plan and not adjust so we can make sure that we win that game and then have a fighting chance in the playoffs. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that could be something that he was placing out there because I think that will make the team better. I just
Yeah.
think you obviously it's all about approach, but I think that when you have honest conversations, it might be uncomfortable for the first few hours, but once you sleep on it, have a sip, do what you're gonna do, get your mind right and take it all in and let it digest. You come out of there and be like, hey, at least he kept it a buck with me. I can respect that. And then you
Oh,
go back
bro.
in the next day and you be like, hey, how can we get this corrected? How can we move forward? That's what real men do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And I like this. They need a little shake up. I think it's been too calm and everybody been too hunky dory, all happy and stuff. There's nothing, no drama coming out the
Right.
locker rooms. But this is different. We talking to each other. They saying y'all wasn't the team. It is a play in. We gonna send y'all ass to Nashville for y'all can have a players retreat and get bonding sessions. But okay, you gonna say that? Coaches got to get their stuff together too, and I love it. I love it. This is just. I love this step that this whole team is making. They starting to speak out. This shows the desperation in this team, and I liking what I'm hearing so far. I like what I
For
hear so
sure.
far.
For sure. Last question before we move on. So if DeMar DeRozan would have came out and said, hey, this could possibly be our last dance, how would you would have felt? I know you ain't like it too much from Vooch. What if DeMar DeRozan would have said, hey, this could be our last dance right here?
I like it more from DeMar DeRozan. He more of a real leader. He take the kids under his wing. I don't mean the
For
kids,
sure.
but the young players under his wing. He's respected in his league. Absolutely. I ain't got no problem with DeMar DeRozan. Absolutely not. He's
For
not
sure.
perfect neither, though. Shit.
For sure. But hey, let us know how y'all feeling about the DeMar DeRozan speaking on the coaching staff and holding them accountable just as well as holding the players accountable. Let us know how y'all feeling about that down below. Now, DeMar DeRozan went further into this interview and it was brought up about how the front office wanted to improve their shooting profile in regards to shooting more threes. And DeMar DeRozan said he will shoot more threes when an opportunity presents itself. And I'm cool with that. He went on to say, if we correct those things, those issues, give us back the 10 to 15 games that we should have had last season, that changes the whole dynamic of everything. It's always easy when something goes bad just to say scratch it, but you really don't know where you'll end up. It's just
Mhm.
being more in tune offensively and defensively than we were last season. We had a lot of great moments, but we didn't sustain those great moments. Once we understand the sustainability with what it takes to win, that will make us better.
Yeah.
What do you think about that second one? It was long, but very, very
Yeah.
needed.
I understand what he's saying. I like what he said, but DeMar, you're gonna have to shoot threes, DeMar. I know he trying to be, he trying to keep his bravado. He trying to, what I'm saying, I shoot if I'm open to shoot it. No, you need to shoot more threes, DeMar. And you need to shoot a good percentage. I'm with him though. I respect DeMar and whatever he's saying right here, because he is a leader, one of the leaders on this team. But you will have to shoot more threes. That's one of the things you guys gotta correct. And that's mostly upon him.
Agreed. I think that he will have to shoot more threes. But I do want him to do so within the flow of the offense. I don't want him
Yeah.
just jacking them. And but I do think if he gets to establish himself and shoot 3 to 5 threes per game, he
Yep.
should be good. Let's
Yeah.
just, let's just make sure each game we taking some. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because the more you begin to knock those down, that's when the other teams start to recognize, oh, we can't back so far off of DeMar DeRozan anymore, and they won't allow the opposing defense to collapse hard on them like they were this past season. The first season with the Chicago Bulls, a lot of teams they knew he was a mid-range guy. You know what I'm saying? But it was a little bit not present. You know what I'm saying? Because the year prior in San Antonio, he was more the facilitator type. His
Yeah.
first year with the Chicago Bulls, he was able to go in and just really dominate from the mid range early on in that season. And if a lot of us paid attention, that second half of the season, teams started to adjust to him. And now, moving on to his third season with the Bulls, if he adds that in, he should be good to go. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then when those teams do collapse, now he got an outlet with several guys around the, that should be around the perimeter that should be able to knock down a three now. You shouldn't have any issues, in my opinion.
I agree. I agree with you, nephew. He know that's and defensively, he talked defensively. I need him to play every possession like he want to play defense if he gonna talk about defensive stuff too, because he
Facts.
slacks off half the time as well. So okay, I liked all the talking. This is a good step in the right direction from all the Bulls. From the front office, what we heard from that interview, and from DeMar DeRozan with these quotes. Now, talk is talk. What we say, nephew? What's your word?
Put it
It
on
on wax.
wax.
On, bro. Now let's see.
Put it on wax. But before we go, I do like to mention, like, it's different a little bit because everybody seems like they understand what the expectation is, bro.
Yes.
In the front
Yes.
office, they lead in that charge. We sat right there during Bulls Fest when Mark Eversley said, "Hey, we got to change. We got to get better. We got to do X, Y, and Z." He broke it all down. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then it flowed on over to some interviews that these two guys have done. All offseason, they've been reiterating, "Hey, we got to get better. We got to improve our shooting profile." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And maintain that defense, the defensive toughness that had us ranked in the top 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm all for it. I appreciate it. And hopefully they can eventually put it all on wax. For real.
Bro. And what's going to be interesting when they have this low, when they lose 2 or 3 games in a row, will they implode or will they come together?
Facts. Or what about when they win 3 in a row? Will
Yeah,
we see a
absolutely.
3-game losing streak after?
Can we see a 4-game winning streak?
Right. Can we get a 4-game winning streak this season, please?
We see that. We know this is different. They on a different level.
Exactly.
I like that they playing with a lot of they can't lose. Like what is that called? Desperation. It's desperation this year. I love it.
That's good. It's a lot of talk, but they better put it on wax.
Let's go.
Put it on
I like what
wax.
I'm hearing though, nephew. I ain't
Me
gonna
too.
front. I like what I'm hearing.
Definitely like what I'm hearing. But that's it from us today, man. Let us know your thoughts down below on everything that we discussed today. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It's another episode of Shy Boys Podcast. I'm Bobby, that's CDubb. We're gonna catch y'all on the next one for sure. It's boss.
Cognac. Gang.